Thank you for opening your ears to the conversation.
We also have guests in the house today, but before we get to them, I want to make sure that you are always reminded that right here at Community Voices, we are always grateful for your presence. We realize and we recognize that if it were not for you, we would not be alive. You've been holding us down for over 40 years, and we appreciate all of the ways that you show up, all of the plethora of ways that you show up. We are grateful for you. And we also want you to know that you can join this conversation because the phone lines are open at 501-433-0088, 501-433-0088. And we also want to remind you, I bet this is Hotep on the line this morning, wishing us life, prosperity, and health as usual. I have not received the information about your brother Gerald Lowe. I'm still waiting on that. Don't forget, put on mute and turn your volume all the way down. Yes, we're still waiting on the information about your brother Gerald. I really want to make sure that I'm up on that so I can show up in the space some kind of way, so I can show up some kind of way. Also want to remind you that you are greeted this morning in the spirit of Sawubona, that spirit of oneness that binds us together by our humanity. There's nothing that we can do about the fact that we are bound together by our humanity, but we can do everything about how that looks, how we navigate that, how we manage that human interaction. And so that always is the undercurrent for our conversations here, and the conversations on Community Voices are centered in Blackness in the context of the human story. So all humans are allowed, are ready, we willing, you can contribute, you can participate to the story, in the story where we do center Blackness. And so let me wait, first let me see if Toney has any.
Briefing.
Okay, well, let's do that. Let's do that.
All right, thank you.
Caller, you're live on the air, KABF 88.3. Okay, it's the Chevy place. Okay, so we got a lot going on already this morning, but in the house again, in the studio again, live and in color, is the premier designer, Mr. Ashton Hall. But he didn't even come by himself. You know how sometimes you say, have your people call my people? That's what I say to people all the time. I say, have your people call my people. And then I say, but I am my people. That's what I say. But Ashton got some people. So he is not alone in the studio this morning. And so I want to make sure that we give both of you all a chance to greet us, Emmanuel and Ashton. Just take a moment right now, just a moment to just greet us and tell the people what you want them to know about who you are.
So first of all, my name is Ashton Hall. I'm so excited to be here once again. We're getting ready for something major to take place on Saturday, but we're going to talk about it more in detail. So I just want to quickly say hello to the people. I look forward to sharing more as the interview proceeds.
Okay, who else you got in here? Your people.
Yes, good morning. This is Emmanuel. I'm just here supporting my brother. So, yeah, that's the most important thing.
Okay, for the black man support. Okay, okay. As long as you want, and it is absolutely free. You don't have to be you don't have to be a patient at Sage Health. You don't have to sit through a webinar. You don't have to make a donation. All you got to do is show up and be ready to move something every single Tuesday. So that's my announcement for this morning. I do want to take a moment to ground our conversation in the song that was played, Good Morning Sunrise, as well as our EJI tidbit for today. So, Ashton, I've gotten into this practice where I ask the people that are going to be guesting what song motivates you, inspires you, that whatever it is that you love about this song, what is that song? And I want to start with that. And so we started with Good Morning Sunshine because that song does something for you. And so I want you to take a moment and tell us what it is about this song that you like.
So what I love about the song is when I'm in my design studio each day, I'm actually playing a collection of songs from Mesa. I think her sound, her groove, everything, it just sets the atmosphere. And I think it's so important as a creative voice that you have the right space to work in. So when I think of Good Morning Sunshine, it tells me if it's cloudy outside, it's raining, it doesn't matter. It's like good morning sunshine. You can take on the world. You can do all that you set out to do in that day. And that's what I'm doing. I'm departmentalizing.
Should have that sunshine. So that's just a reminder that.
Tony, this is your first time hearing it? Or no? No, Mason?
First time, but
Okay, so I'm the only one who first time. Okay.
but the thing about it, for those people who know me, know that the best time of the day to me is the morning. I like stepping out my house and looking at the sun, smelling the flowers and the trees. It just does something to me. It gets me going. So I understand.
Mhm.
You know, when you think about, hey, it's a new day,
Yeah.
it's new creativity, it's just new experiences, it's a new damn journey. And yes, it's an awesome song.
One of our loyal listeners reminds us all the time about the importance of recognizing that we are energy, and it's important how we handle that energy. And so when you talk about your creative space and listening to this song because you like the feel of it, and I feel like it's so important for us to be mindful of what it is that we are taking in, especially in those sacred spaces where we are creating, where we are holding space, where we are breaking bread together. It really does matter what you have, what you allow into that space with you. I know that myself as a creator, and so I really appreciate you reminding us that energy is so important, and we need to focus on that. My favorite line in the song, I used to have a friend named Kristen who always said, she would always ask me, what's your favorite line in the song? So I've started at that as a practice. And my favorite line in this song is, shine, my love. No one does it quite like you. Shine, my love. No one does it quite like you. I feel like the world in which we live in is always setting us up to compete with each other. They've created this false narrative that there's so much lack that everybody has to try to, it's like a rat race. You're trying to hurry up and get what you can get because somebody else gonna get it. And if they get it, then you can't. That's how they have us. But to your hands, you are the only one that can do it. And just go on and shine and do it. And don't worry about nobody else. Don't worry about nobody else. Just shine, my love, because you are the one that's best at it. Call here live on the air, KABF at 8.3. Thanks for calling Community Voices.
Good morning. You all are talking about what's been on my mind.
Okay.
You know, set the stage that when you first get up, set the stage on what you want to do every day. Thank you, son. Thank you for I mean, good night. But on another subject, I want to, we had our president, no kids day. Now, Trump gonna keep right on doing what he's doing. But look at all the energy. It needs to be talking about trying to stop this bad food we get. Use your energy in the right way instead of something we can stop all the bad food. You can stop some bad. But you ain't doing anything or something that you can't
My love, because no one does it quite like you. I also want to ground our conversation in our EJI tidbit for today. It is relationship. And so I wanted to ground the conversation in the support of other people that you trust with your own mission, as well as the song.
Yeah, I did not know you were going to be here this morning asking, and even though Denise sent me out an email telling me
No, you should read
that
that.
I was getting ready.
that on the 14th, Ashton Hall.
You should read your email.
Yeah, I glanced. I cannot confirm or deny that I did not read the email. But when I saw it yesterday, again, when she reminded me yesterday that you're going to be here, I thought about two things. I thought about the Met Gala,
Mm.
and thought about how do you get, how do you get more Black people recognized?
Yeah.
We met Gala, these designers, but it also sent me back. So in February, I had to go to Chicago for a funeral. One of my aunts had died, and people who know me know that every morning I like smelling good. I think we talked about that last time.
You bought some of the cologne, the perfect.
I like
The
smelling
scent.
Yeah, the scent.
Hold on just a
Okay.
minute. Caller, you're live on the air, KBF 88.3 FM. Thanks for calling Community Voices.
Hi, good morning. Is Tony around there?
Yes,
I'm here.
he is.
Tony.
What's up, Bob? I forgot to call you, Bob.
Man, happy you forget, man. I waited 7 days to talk to you again. Do you have my number?
Yes, we do. And I sent it to you on your text message. Yes, we do. He has it. Yes, he has.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have some very big news to share. So call me sometime, okay?
Okay, I will, Bob.
Y'all keep it up now. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
And when he call you, you give him your cell phone number.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Tony.
And so on the day of the funeral, people who know me know that just like stepping out in the morning and starting your day, I start I said, no, it's Ashton Hall. And they said, Ashton Hall.
Wow.
And I gave them the website
Mhm.
to look it up. And they said, he's Black.
Wow.
Yes,
It got to do with
I
anything.
know, I know.
I said, what? You know, I said, do you like, yeah, it smells good, you know? And I said, you ought to get some.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, and I even had some cousins,
Mhm.
relatives come by the house to look at the bottle. I said,
Wow.
you know, and they want the sponsor. Hold up.
Oh, listen.
Hold up. You know, you can sniff it, but you don't get a squirt.
There you go. There you go.
You know, and so this weekend I had some of those relatives at my house. And I asked them,
Mhm.
did you go and buy it?
Mhm.
And it amazed me when you talk about support.
Yeah.
You know, but Black people don't really make good cologne. I said, hold up now. You're gonna tell me I smell good.
Wow.
You're gonna tell me it's a little
That's
but you don't want to buy it. The problem was you will go out and spend $300, $400 for Tom Ford,
Mhm.
who's white, but you don't want to spend $200 or $300 for a Black person.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me when we talk about support.
Mhm.
You know, that's how you support our people. Not only by being with them, but you can support them financially. You can support them in a lot of different ways.
Mhm.
And you know, like I said, you'll go spend your money
Mhm. Yep.
for Versace, Louis Vuitton, all this, but you mean to tell me you can't spend which the cologne rivals all of it.
Conversation right on from the sense to tribal, to being in a tribe, to understanding your nation, to understanding yourself, to knowing how to love yourself, to know how important it is to make good energy. So that's what I would hope that we do when we find ourselves in relationship with folks that might need a little help being enlightened, that we take that opportunity to do so.
I think one thing that happens, and I think that I don't know if it's just the culture or however you want to frame it, is that yes, they're surprised that this is a Black. Oh, yeah. But then the next thing becomes
Mhm.
now, because it is a Black person, now I should get some type of discount. or I should get some type of favor, because it is a black person, that you should give me a break because and how they do it, yo, bro, give me a hookup. You don't go to these other places.
And if we don't, these are the things that keep happening. So what I did strategically, on Saturday we have our grand opening, and again, this is a perfect way to explain it. We have our grand opening happening on Saturday downtown, right on President Clinton Avenue, my new design space. But what I did intentionally is I partnered with other artisans within the community. So even though we're going to have sewing classes, we're going to have the Ashton Hall collection, the fragrance, the leather goods, everything. I wanted a space where other artists, where if you design jewelry, if you crochet, if you make body scrubs, they're coming in within the month of May. We have classes set up where they're now going to teach their art. This gives them the platform to explain. They're passionate about what they're doing. They're going to be able to sell their product, teach it within a class setting. And I thought it was so critical because I just didn't want to be another designer dropping in the neighborhood. It's all about me. I said, how do I take this opportunity to now bridge the gap and create a curated space of talented artisans where they can have this platform, and they're so excited. And that is really the bigger dream. And that's where I think, I can't change the world and how people think on shopping, but I'm doing my part to create the space that now come support this. Ashton Hall has achieved many things. So now I'm trying to create a space for other young artists to now get their dreams accomplished.
And I think that's, I want to remind
As a designer, the biggest challenge is we'll get to the point where we create the product and then we get stuck. So not only did I create a space where we are training the students, we're giving them a space to be part of the internship program, then they can be hired on. And I have, and the requirements for production, but I've selected factories that can work and do small production runs, and that's going to help these Black designers go from A to Z. And that to me is the Ashton Hall a little bit more. Let's make him more famous. I've accomplished everything I wanted to do. This is my next chapter. And I just wanted to say one more thing. We had the place, they said, we want to meet a real fashion designer. So they came in, we did different activities where they, like, well, I'm going to be a model. I says, you can. I said, you're beautiful and you're smart. And then the students were measuring each other, and she said, well, I just want to make sure my measurements are right. Are these the right measurements? I need to be a model. I said, once again, you're beautiful and you're smart, and you can do anything you put your mind to. And at the end of the class, one of the students said to me, so what are you going to do in your next chapter? You've done so many things. You wrote a book, you lived in Paris, you did it all. What are you going to do next? I said, my next chapter is to make sure that you and say, he said no. She said no, go through the stylist. They gave me a budget. I made a few outfits. We get to now the photo shoot. The marketing director walks in and says, "What are you doing here? Like, I told you I don't want to work with you." And the photographer says, "Well, leave him alone. He's steaming his garments. He's good." I'm gonna move the story through fast. They shoot 3 of my garments. They shoot maybe another 6 of the other designers. And then it gets to now the final decision. And the marketing director says, "No, I don't want to use his stuff." I said, "No, I don't want to work with him." And I think the lesson I had to learn through that was, even though I felt defeated, I kept trusting in God because God told me, "You're going to get this." But I said, "God, if the yes person is saying no, how?" And all God kept saying was, "Trust me." Well, those images got to the president of the record company. And they said, not only do I want him to get the CD cover, I want him to get all of the promotions, the tour, anything associated with this artist. I want all of his work to be used. And that was the greatest lesson, that even when I doubted myself, I doubted authority, there's still a higher authority that said, "No, trust me." And I think that is what led me to where I am right now with this space, because it seemed, in my head a year ago, I saw this thing so clear, but I didn't know the how. How was I going to get there? And God kept saying, "Just trust the process." And I'm telling you, it's going to be revealed on Saturday how I got to this space. And just to share with you about your artistry, what we're doing is, even artists that paint, because of the gallery space, we would allow artists to say, "Hey, we want to do an art exhibit. You show your artwork, you invite your guests, we curate a Friday evening with wine and cheese, just to highlight you and say, hey, this person is in our community," but it's a very focused presentation. So those are the kind of things we'll be doing as well.
Yeah, I raised my hand up at the space. I was like, me, I want that, me. What's the song that, what God has for me,
Come on.
it is for me, right? That's what it says. But I think, though, if I want to back up a little in your book, that for you to have that kind of faith comes from that Black queen who was your mama.
Oh my. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about that for a minute, because you had a praying mama.
Yes. Not only it was she, oh my God, okay, I'm not gonna get emotional, but when you come to my office, I actually have a large photograph of her sitting in my office now, with the last letter that she wrote me. And in that letter, she told me, because she had 7 children. And out of the 7, she said to me, "I know who you are, and I know who God called you to be." And she said, "Many people may not understand you, but don't get discouraged." I mean, it was such a beautiful letter. Um, but as you stated, she was a praying mother, and she believed in me. Like, she was that kind of mother that even if you come home from school and said, "Mom, I think I messed up," she said, "No, you didn't mess up. It was the teacher. The teacher probably didn't teach you right." And it was like, it was such a safe space, because I felt like, even though I knew I made the mistakes, my mother was that really strong mother, but that was a comforting mother, that kind of guided me through certain challenges in my journey. But also, because she did so, I was able to see her technique. And I think that's what kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing today. So there are days I do miss her. She passed away about 2 years ago, but she's in my heart. I mean, that's why I wear this, because whenever I feel a moment of whatever, I just grab onto it, and I know she was there for me. I'm not worried.
I I want you to take some time to talk about your space again, not just on the grand opening is Saturday, but what the space is actually going to do. Because I remember I was in the space and I asked, like, how old do you have to be to like, who can come in? Because I don't know how to sew. I think I may have threaded a needle twice in my life, and I was doing it for my mom. And so I was like, oh, can I learn how to sew? Like, so I was wondering, like, who gets to participate in the space? What are the restrictions, or are there restrictions? Like, can you just talk about that?
Sure. So what we're doing, so let's talk about the children first. So in the summer, we're doing a 1-week workshop for kids, and that's ages from, like, I'm gonna have them as young as 9, you can be from 9 on up. And that's a 1-week program where they'll come in Monday through Friday, and then on Sunday we'll do like a fashion show of the garment that they made. So that's a special workshop we're doing just in the summer while kids are out of school. But on the norm, again, with the adults, we have special, and the classes are broken up. We're even doing a class just for men, because several men said, "I want to learn how to sew, but I'm going to feel intimidated if I'm in a class with other women that know how to sew." So we have a men's sewing class, we have a beginning sewing class, and all of this is on the website. So you can go in and pick and choose and see the classes and the time structures. Many of them are going to be in the evenings, so after work. We do have some classes on Sunday afternoon. But more than just sewing classes, we actually are adding in, which I'm excited about, we're doing a yoga class and we're doing a Tai Chi class, because I feel like all of these arts come together to kind of balance you, in your creativity. So it's going to be more than just sewing. We have jewelry making classes. Emmanuel's going to teach a class on how to make jewelry. So get ready. And it's going to be a little bit different than your typical sit down. We have some sip and sew classes. Can I say that on the air?
Yes.
But we really want
I
to
like
create
that
a
sip and sew.
space where it's all about the community coming together in different kind of areas of their expertise, but also they can meet others and just create a community. That's what I want to do. So as far as the ages, we have children, we have teens, and we have adults. All of it's broken out.
Yeah, well, Zumba, it's got some kind of. You might want to add Zoom. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, we're going to talk about the Zumba class. I know that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
I do have this. I do have a question for you. It's the same guy, and I feel like it's the same question, but here we go. How does your guest, the Ashton Hall, intertwine the African arts from such civilization as Benin into his work? So that's the question.
Okay, so to the question, I would say it like this. I think it's so important that I never lose my foundation. So let me explain it this way. We're getting ready to do our big fashion show in September. So each year we do a fundraiser event at the Chanel Country Club, and it's going to be September 29th. And when I prepare for that show, we sit down with the creative team as far as hair and makeup, jewelry, all of that is put into the pot to create the collection. And where I find it best is that I do pull on my historical roots for that, and you'll see it woven into some of the details. It'll be either from the color aspect, it could be from the fabrication, it could just be how we work with the hairstylist to bring a lot of African influences through the detailing. Because I think this is my platform to shine, as we were talking about. So I'm so conscious of that. We do it in the models. We do it an assortment of models to keep a balance. Because this is my chance to speak. This is my platform, and again, I make sure that I do pull on all of my culture for that. I mean, there's such a historical background. When you think of how some of the African fabrics are made, the way it's woven, the bright colors, you can pull that into any collection depending on how you put the story together. And that's what we're working on now. So we kind of have that mapped out. And I think and I say it every year, but I think this is going to be my greatest collection because it's coming from such a personal space.
Is this the one I'm modeling in?
This is the one. If your agency will call me back.
Okay.
They keep putting me on hold whenever I call.
Oh, yeah.
So you
Okay.
may want another agent.
Can you give us the website address?
So the website is ashtonhallcollection.net. If you go to the Ashton Hall website, that's where you can find out information on the products. And then also you can sign up to become a member as far as getting information on the newsletter. And in reference to the school, it's under I'm sorry, I'm looking at my team over here to give me the words. Yeah, we're going to announce that in detail on Saturday. I know it's a little confusing, but we want to kind of save that as a special surprise. So if you go to the Ashton Hall website, which is ashtonhallcollection.net, you can find out a lot of information about the designer and my product line. But on Saturday, we're going to do a big reveal in reference to the school. We want to kind of keep it under wraps.
Well, Lo calls you an outstanding guest. Thank you all so much for joining us for Community Voices, where we have been live right here at KABF 88.3 FM, where we are the voice of the people. Do not touch that dial, because you got 2 hours of jazz coming right at you, and your girl DJ Delight is in the house, taking the place of your girl Lola. She's not going to be here today, so she has given me the honor of sitting with you these next 2 hours. So stay right there. You don't want to miss it. All of this music is coming to you exclusively from KABF 88.3 FM. We'll see y'all next week.